Definitely,
But
definitely.
with that, but with that, I think we should move on to our next topic, which
Sure.
is quite good. So, Chris, Detroit, we're back
Yeah.
here again.
Dude,
So,
I am so happy by
go.
the way that because we didn't do a pre E3 predictions. We didn't do something like that. What we did was Ad and I just talked about three games that we like that we want to see at E3. And I got so sad because Kojima was like, I will not be showing Death Stranding, and I'm like, man, that's a bad way to start this off because that was like one of the games that we wanted to see. But Detroit came, dude, and boy did
I
it
will
come.
I will eat humble pie now and say that I was wrong about my prediction. I was quite quite far off wrong as well. I did get the part that they showed Detroit. I think everything else was wrong. Because I said that David Cage would come out and show a tech presentation and they would
I
announce a release date, so I
I
was a little
wanted to
bit off.
see Cage, man. But that's I think that's kind of like what they're doing now. Sony just wants to show you trailer after trailer after trailer. Like keep it like the only guy who came out was Sean Layden, right? The
Yeah,
head
Chris.
guy. Yeah, I think that's his name. He was the only dude that came out at the very beginning, and I think somewhere in the middle. And then he like left, and we were like, all right, bye. And then, well, I guess if you count those people that hung in the that one
Mm,
demo. What was it? The Days Gone demo when those like
yeah.
remember like at one point they showed zombies hanging and then they actually suspended a person over the screen at the show. It was so stupid.
Yeah,
That was and they only did it once. It was so dumb.
yeah. Well, yeah, I remember that. No, but I was very excited to see Detroit. So basically at E3 they had the if you were there, you were able to play the scene from last year, which was where Connor goes into the hostage situation. So that was playable on E3's floor. And
Right.
then at the conference, they showed the new trailer. So we got
Yeah.
a very interesting trailer, very exciting one as well. And I thought it was very, very good showcase because, and I will say this again, I wrote this about a year ago as well for my student magazine and stuff. I said that this is a for a return to form for Quantic Dream. I think David Cage has possibly got a very good spiritual successor to Heavy Rain here now
Agreed.
because I think
Agreed.
he's really I think it looks brilliant. It looks fantastic. That was all in-game engine as well. They even said it afterwards. And the thing is, though, you can't really tell as well with a Quantic Dream game what is actual cutscene, what isn't, because it is an interactive experience. But it looked absolutely gorgeous. What we saw our third character, who was called Marcus, played by Jesse Williams. And it was kind of good though as well because I think with this story as well, and like when I had time to reflect on it, so we got three playable characters. That's the max that we have in Detroit. So we
Right.
have Valerie Curry's Kara, we have Brian Deckhart's Connor, and we have Jesse Williams as Marcus. And each character is so brilliant because you have Kara, who's the android who wants to live, who wants to go out there and just have like a normal life. She wants to be away from it. You have
Right.
Connor, who's the android who's been programmed to go and hunt down other androids and like get the renegades away. And then you have Marcus, who's the uprising leader of the androids. So you have three different stories in there. You have the pacifist, you have the rebellion and the violence and stuff
It's
like that. And then you have
it's
the bit of a
perfect. Dude, from a
yeah,
storytelling point of view, it's because you have one person, you're right, who's kind of like, I don't want anything to do with this. I just want to live normally. You have one person who's working with people, with humans, and then you have the last dude who's like, I'm against these humans. I want to save my robot brothers and sisters, you know? It's like you have the last guy's like the Magneto of the androids, you know? It's from a storytelling point of view, man, it's such a great I loved it. I think Cage is a genius. Like this is a great way to tell a story. You don't need any more characters. These three are perfect for telling a story.
yeah. I think they really did it well with like when I was like sitting down and thinking about it. I was like, right, this is really cool. Watch the trailer, you see the uprising, you see the anarchy, you see all the kind of little things. I think you even see Valerie Curry in that trailer as well. Kara, I think they might have shown Connor. I can't remember. I was almost falling asleep at this point. It was really early in the morning when I was
It was
watching
like
this.
4 o'clock in the
Um,
morning for you. Like
oh yeah, I dazed in and out because I didn't realize the Spider-Man game had quick time events. So when people were saying it, I was like, oh what? And I went back and watched it. I was a little bit like, ugh, right, okay. Um, but that's something else for another topic. But I watched it and I thought it was brilliant. I think it's cool. I think they're showing restraint. I think Beyond Two Souls was not a terrible game. It was a good
yeah,
game.
agreed.
I will argue that it's the end of the fucking world as well, especially for my boy Defoe. Yeah, brilliant. um, but I don't think it was a terrible game. But from where they were getting off with Heavy Rain, which was the BAFTA winning game, Game of the Year awards, it was showered in great awards as well. And I think it was brilliant as well. I've got it, still got the game as well, but it just didn't feel like the next, you know, the right step to take. Let's say
Yeah.
and to develop the Quantic Dream formula. And this really thinks like David Cage has sat down, thought about the plot, thought about the characters, has tweaked things, has like really kind of given it, it's just given it. It feels like something that's been in development for a long time. There's a lot of heart into the game as well. Um, I'm very excited to see what happens. I'd like to see as well, like personally, leading up to release this game, developer diaries. I think it's a
Yeah.
missed art with Quantic Dream. I think it's made for Quantic Dream for them to drop developer diaries, like explaining little things.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm very excited though, and yeah, I think you are right about the fact that they are changing from the people coming out on stage and talking, which is a shame though, because I really like that when they were coming
Yeah.
out and tease
This
things and
at this C3 as a whole, at this conference, I noticed that that was a big thing. Like everybody, man, Bethesda was basically a Nintendo Direct, man. It was so weird. Bethesda was like the CEO came out, not the CEO, but the guy the big man in charge came out, introduced the show. They showed uninterrupted the whole show like a Nintendo Direct, and at the end he came out and he's like, "All right, guys, yeah, like, these are all the games coming out this year. I hope you guys enjoy. Bye." And I'm like, "Why did you get a theater for that?" And like, it's the only company that I think had a traditional E3 was Ubisoft. They were the only ones that traditional in the sense of they had people come out, they had people demo games live, stuff like that. But everyone else, EA, it was mainly video stuff. No one ever really, it was a weird E3 in a way. It was more like a transitional kind of thing.
yeah, it was a very strange one.
Yeah.
Very excited for this though. I'm
Yeah.
going to put another ridiculous prediction out here, but they will have Detroit at Paris Games Week this year, which is
Yeah.
in November, if I'm correct, November, October, and we will get a release date, and David Cage will come out for that one. I think there will
Well,
definitely be some kind of indication for that.
it's definitely possible because they what was it, Sony I think just said they really want to do something for the European audience this year because they I think they skipped out on Gamescom and Paris Games Week last year. And so
No,
this
no,
year, wasn't it
I
last
think
year?
they were at Paris. No, they've skipped Gamescom now, essentially, and they've changed to Paris Games Week.
Was it that? Cuz
If I'm right.
they were cuz Detroit was announced in 2015 at Paris Games Week. I think I don't remember. I
Yeah.
know I
Okay. Right.
know
Okay.
I know Microsoft and Sony skipped last year. Gamescom was like a null and void. They didn't do anything last year.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but they said that this year they want to like attend one of them, and it sounds I wouldn't be surprised if it's Paris Games Week,
It will be
because they've done that already.
more focused on Paris. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think they've given up on Gamescom. I think they're more focused on getting Paris Games because the European centric conference, which is
yeah,
all right. But it's a big game. Very excited for it. Love what was shown again. And now all I want to see is a full-on gameplay sequence where we can actually like
yeah.
watch it. Obviously, if you're at E3, you got to play the Connor sequence, but I wasn't at E3 unfortunately. So I'd like to see a tech demo run of something like that.
Dude, actually, before we wrap up this topic, quick question. So, man, very surprised, no release date. That whole every trailer at Sony's conference would always say 2018, 2018, or 2017.
Yeah,
This one, nothing. They just like cut it off. I don't know when this is coming
bit
out. I
strange.
want to say late 2018. I want to say quarter four 2018 because it's so far along in development. But like at the same
I
time, I
think
don't
though,
know. Maybe it's early. Maybe they
I'm
want to make a
definitely.
March 2019. You think?
I think it is, but you know what? I think the thing is though, like I'm sure that the capture sequences have been done, like
Yeah,
all the motion capture sequences, and I think maybe they didn't announce it because they will go to Paris Games Week with a confirmed release date,
yeah.
which will
That's what
mean
I'm
that they'll
thinking.
give, which will mean they'll give time for Detroit to go gold,
Yeah.
and have a full-on release date. I'm I'm thinking now it'll be early 2018, in
Mm,
the same slot that Horizon was in. So we have Q1 2018 release. Q1, wait, Q1 or Q2?
yeah.
I think Q2 actually.
I'm gonna go the safer route. I'm gonna say quarter four because I find it very odd they have never had a year attached to any trailer. like most games are like
Yeah,
20 coming 20, or I guess in Kojima's case coming 1984. But
yeah,
in this case it's always been like coming soon 2017, 2018. And then
yeah.
sometimes they do that so they don't have to like specifically say like something, and then they get locked in there. So I'm going to say late 2018. I see this being like the big November holiday, like what Until Dawn did 2 years ago. I see Detroit doing that for Sony next year.
Cool.
I think so.
I'm gonna find mine off far off mine now. But even when this about Shuhei Yoshida about Until Dawn, they were surprised by how well it did, and that had no
Yeah,
marketing behind it as well. That was just dropped in the middle of August, if you remember.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
just released. It was like, here's Until Dawn, play it, and
And
it was
and
like, oh, okay,
and so many people bought it. Like it was like
yeah,
people are like, "Wow, this
and
is
even they
cool."
exactly, and they were shocked. They're like, oh, we didn't put any marketing behind this. My theory is if I'm right with Q2 at 2018, it's just gonna drop, and they'll have trailers and stuff like that. If I'm wrong on that, they're gonna do a lot of marketing then Q4 2018. But
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
I think so. That's definitely possible.